is my 1998 Ford Ranger 4x4 manual with a custom flatbed built by yours truly that I've had for about right at a year now. It's currently on stock 15s and 32x12s, which surprisingly do not rub. And this, I didn't quite take as much time as I did on the cat eye painting the frame. Mainly I just got where you can see the bed and a few spots down here that I got. But this flatbed took about 6.5, 7 months to finish. And my favorite part are these removable mud flaps, which were the last part of the flatbed that was built. You know, that way they don't catch on the tire when I'm riding around the forest or wherever I end up. But all this was redone, cut by me and my dad. The shackle is one off cat eye from the video previous to this. Now I know this all does look pretty rough because, you know, I didn't take the time to paint it properly. But the flatbed is detachable because it is bolted to the factory bed holes, which those are just for support. And, you know, those two back there are connected. So I'd say if I ever did want to take it back off, I mean, it's definitely an option, but I don't think I ever will on this thing because, I mean, it just looks so much better with it. I don't really know what looks better, the mud flaps on, the mud flaps off. And I do really like this rim and tire setup. Just, I think eventually I will get manual front locking hubs because right now mine are permanently locked for some reason. I don't know, the previous owner must have broke them somehow. But it's my only manual vehicle. And yes, before anybody comments, I know this needs headlights too. But the bumper was bought off Amazon for Christmas last year. I forgot, it was about $250. I will say, if you end up getting one of these Amazon bumpers for your Ranger, you're probably going to want to build an extra brace from the frame somewhere to this because this does rattle. Not as bad on this side as it does on this other side, but it'll rattle up against the body just about every bump you hit. The shackles, I found both of those. The light pods, which I didn't put on until about a few weeks ago, but I have them wired to a control box with a remote, so they're not actually just on a toggle switch. I do highly suggest getting a control box for your lights, horn, whatever it is, because I had a train horn at one point hooked up to this, but I decided to take it off. But this helps a lot with your LEDs and your pod lights and light bars, all that. Especially because you don't have to run all the extra wires. You just run it directly to the box, which is pretty much right next to the battery. The interior is fairly clean for what I use this for because, you know, I don't really drive it that often unless I'm going to the forest or ramping hills or whatever I do with it. But I do like it being a manual compared to the automatic in the 3.0 Rangers. But I redid the headliner myself within probably 2 weeks of me having it. I had the carpet taken out, I shampooed it. And I do highly suggest that, you know, any vehicle you get with a messed up headliner, you just buy some cheap material and some spray glue. Because this, it probably didn't take but probably an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And it'll probably hold up for another 10 years. But, you know, it's good to get it before it starts just foam falling all over your seats and stuff. The back is fairly clean also, but you know, nobody actually ever wants to sit in these little jump seats. But I do have a small leak at the back of the window right there, which ends up puddling in the cup holder right there, which I eventually will fix in another video, but I'm not sure y'all are gonna want to see that. Now, of course, don't pay attention to the wiring I have for the lights. I did it in the middle of the night, but the only thing under here that isn't stock, of course, is the control box and the big turbo I have. Now, there is no aftermarket lift. However, I do have the keys turned just about all the way up. And when I first started building the flatbed, I come to the realization of how heavy it was. And I was scared it was going to be like really squatted when I finished it, which I'm okay with the cat eye being a little squatted, but this, I wanted it to be dead level. Also, this truck has front and rear sway bars completely taken off, which I don't suggest if you're going to be driving something a lot. But as far as the flex I've gotten out of this compared to before the removal, it's a significant increase, but it's definitely not safe for daily driving wise. I wish every vehicle had the headlight removal design as the GMT 800, because they're just 2 pins and you can pull them right out, which is just the most amazing thing ever. I'd say as far as manuals, this is probably about as easy as it gets to drive. And as far as fuel mileage, what I'm guessing from how long I've driven it is it probably gets anywhere from like 28 to 34, somewhere up in there. Because I know the fuel tank is significantly smaller. Even this fuel tank probably lasts at least probably 250, 300 miles. But this one, it might need shocks at this point, because, you know, it's been riding on these for all of 201,000 miles. Really, the only thing I don't like about this truck, I don't understand why they made it only electric full drive engagement for these trucks when they came with manual transmissions. Like, I feel like reliability wise, if it was a manual full drive engagement, it'd be significantly easier to maintain. Instead of when the switch goes out on that one, I'll end up having to go buy another one. But I have seen kits for the manual full drive engagement, so if mine ever goes out, I might just end up buying the kit. Thank you for watching this video, and the next video will probably be an overview of the Duramax, which is significantly more fascinating than the Cat Eye and this, just in general. But until next time,